Thanks for joining us for our weekly live stream from Firaxis Games. I'm Pete Murray, and we're here today for a couple of reasons. First of all, this is our last live stream of 2014. Thank you all for tuning in for this. It's been a lot of fun to put on. It's been a lot of fun to talk to you guys about Civilization Beyond Earth. We are working on a patch for Civ Beyond Earth. I don't have an update on timing yet, but the team is continuing to work on it. They want to make sure that they don't introduce any knock-on effects as a result of working on and through as best we can, the 2K forums. We'll continue to give you guys notes on what we're doing as we get closer to it. Hopefully we'll have more information on timing and so on for you. But on today's upload it to the Steam Workshop so that other people can download it. And then when this stream is done, once this will be up online, presumably in the next couple of days, maybe even hours, depending on how long or how taxed Steam's servers are, I guess. And we can take a look at it then. So if we're ready to go, let's go ahead and we're going to jump back into ModBuddy. I'm not going to recover all of the same things some of the things that we did last week. So for example, how to install ModBuddy or fire it up. Check out last week's stream if you're interested in that. We're going to presume that you know how to create a new mod, and we're ready to put some more information in on there. So when we have a moment, let's go ahead and we'll jump right into the code itself. All right, so I am in ModBuddy right now, and I've brought up the XML file. I've created a new XML project that I'm working on right now, adding the game data for my new wonder, which I'm calling the Entropy Nullifier. And the idea behind this wonder is this is a wonder that adds strategic resources to your colony. And we'll walk through some of the balance for it later on. But this beginning part in building classes, this was something that we had for our previous building that we built, the Auto Manufactory. But in this case, we've added a new attribute, which is max global instances. This says that there's only allowed to be one of these in the game. And this is key to telling Beyond Earth that this is your wonder. So we need to make sure that we add this to the building class as well. Okay, so that's different for this week as well. We're going to go down here into the building attributes, and you notice there's a lot of information here. Some of this we've copied from other wonders, but other parts is new. The type of building, again, Entropy Nullifier. This is our description. This helps us link up to the building class that we've declared already. Here's the cost. It's going to cost 1,500 hammers or bolts or production to produce. This is relatively high, but I thought for a strategic wonder like this, that was probably a good idea. This is comparable to something like the Tectonic Anvil, which you'll see called throughout there. That was kind of my template for this wonder. We've got a prerequisite tech for it. Last week, we made our Auto Manufactory a wonder that you could get right at the start of the game. In this case, we've made this prerequisite on planetary engineering, which is a level 3 technology. It's in that outer ring. I'll show you where that's located when we go into the game itself in just a minute. We've got some description and some help text in these fields right here, as well as a Civilopedia entry for it, a little bit of fluff about the game. Now for the quote, I wanted to make sure that the quote could get read in the game. So what I've done is I've actually taken the tech quote from Pioneering, which is the universe is either in progress or entropy, and we choose progress. And I thought, why not call back to entropy? So it kind of gives it, lets us reuse an asset in this case. We're going to use some of the art for the Tectonic Anvil as well, too. So conceivably, you could have 2 copies of the Tectonic Anvil. You just know that one of them was actually your Entropy Nullifier. These other down here help call back to the Tectonic Anvil's art as it's sort of stored in the game itself. And then for the Wonder Splash audio, we are reusing the speech file for Pioneering as a technology. All right, so that's all in there. Now, because this is a wonder, and it's a late game wonder, thought it made sense to have it require a resource, a strategic resource in order to build. So in this case, it does require geothermal energy. And it needs a lot of geothermal energy, actually. You need 5 for this. This is also comparable with the tectonic anvil, another pretty handy wonder if you're pushing on production. So we decided to do that. Last week, we broke out the localized text as a separate XML file over here, if you recall that. In talking with Sean Seckman, who was our guest last week, he's pointed out that you don't have to do that, so I've decided to incorporate it in the XML itself this time. But I've made sure I've declared which language I'm using it at, and hopefully at some point in the future, somebody might be interested enough to pull it down and, change it into a language that's useful for them. And the entropy nullifier affects them differently. Resource specified in this quantity right here. And then for the affinity-based resources, xenamass, floatstone, and ferroxite, it's going to give you 1 each of them. Now, it's always really tough to try to balance the affinity strategic resources because right now, when you're pursuing a victory condition, usually one resource is super valuable to you and the other one's not so much. You can use them for trade and they're very valuable in trade, or you can use them in some specialized cases, but generally you're just pushing for one or another of these strategic resources, not all 3 of them. But rather than build 3 separate wonders, I thought I'd give you one that would give you a little bit of a kick in the right direction and maybe give you something you could farm out to, say, another faction that might be more interested in that. So that's there. Now we're adding something new this week. These are building flavors, and this is used by the AI system in order to weight how it's going to decide to use this wonder or prioritize this wonder in its various functions. In this case, we've decided that it's going to be a wonder, and if the AI is inclined to go for wonders, it's going to give it a little bit of a weighting there. And if it's going for production, it's going to be weighted pretty heavily. If you're interested in production, you're probably going to want a bunch of these resources ready to go. So an AI that's very interested in building wonders and very interested in building production-based things will be very interested in that. And like every other mod that we do, we need to go ahead and we need to indicate when it's going to do that. So what you do is, you come over here, and you go to Properties, and that'll pop this section out here. You go down to the Actions tab. You're going to add an action for onMod activated. You're going to update the database with this XML file. Okay? And then you're going to come up here, and you're going to build the solution. And we can see down here from our output file that it built successfully, so it's ready to go in the game. Now, a good quick way to test this would be to go ahead and fire the game up itself. So we'll go ahead and we'll do that in just a moment. And I'm going to go ahead and choose the Mantle version because I'm playing with my awesome AMD machine. And we will skip through the intro video in just a second. And I spot checked earlier to make sure that, that this worked correctly, but I'll show you guys where it's situated in the game itself at this point. And it's always a good idea to, even if it builds correctly, you're going to want to jump in and check it and make sure that your text keys are named properly, that it's, your art is showing up properly, all these sorts of things. Again, to trigger it, you go into Mods, you have to accept the EULA. We're going to come over here, we're going to check the wonder. It's the entropy nullifier wonder. And yes, we do want to use it this game. Let's go ahead and we're just going to test this real quick. So I'm just going to pick some dummy setup here. See how this goes. And Wooly 68D, and we'll wait to see how the game comes out here real quick. I'm going to check to make sure it's working properly. And if it looks good, then we'll be ready to go and we'll upload it to Steam. And I'm excited because this is the first time I've ever contributed a mod to Steam, and I'm excited to put it up there. Obviously, I'll be interested on what you want to say about it, and you know, maybe I'll iterate on it. I can pretend I'm a game designer. It's very exciting. It's exciting to me. I hope you like it. All right, so probably the easiest thing to do would be to jump right into the tech web, and I know that this is based off Planetary Engineering, which is all the way over here, and I can see that it looks like it's showing up properly. Normally, this has the borehole and production from generator improvements, and I see the entropy nullifier. That, and there's here. We're going to do publish to Steam Workshop, and this it's pretty self-explanatory, but I want to walk you through just in case. So I'm going to go ahead and begin. These are where my existing mods would be located, but you can see right now it's empty, and this is because I've never contributed a mod to Steam before, so I am pretty excited about it. So I'm going to go upload a new mod. It gives me a term of service that I can accept. I am going to accept these because clearly I'm reading them all very carefully. Okay, it's going to ask me for a mod package to upload. And what I want to do is show you where this is located. So here's your My Documents directory. And Firaxis Mod Buddy will have created a subdirectory within that. And here are the things I've worked on before. The Auto Fabricator, the Entropy Nullifier, that's what I'm interested in, and then the packages. Here I have the Entropy Nullifier Wonder version 1 Civ BE mod. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open that up. Steam does a check to make sure that it looks good to Steam. Steam says, yep, these all look good to me. And we hit next, and we come over to the metadata field. I could add an image to it if I wanted to. I can come over here. I can change the visibility. I could make this a friends-only mod. If I wanted to, say, make something silly that was you know, an in-joke with my friends, that'd be a cool thing to do. I could make it private, where I'm only sharing it with specific people. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make this public. And then I've got all of these options that I have that I can indicate what they are. So I'm going to say this is a gameplay mod. I'm going to say it's not historic, it's not an improvement,